How's it going, guys? Black-Shenron here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you think my videos are worth it. Like, if you're not subscribed and you enjoy my content, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the notification bell. If you don't want to subscribe, it's enough that you just watch my content. Thank you for watching my content. So, let's begin. We start this roof off a couple of months. Well, not really months. Around a year after the killing of Captain Ginyu. Kakarot's on a mission with his newfound fighting force, known as the Kakarot Force. Seeing as Captain Ginyu's dead, there's no more Ginyu Force, it's the Kakarot Force. After tidying things up for Lord Frieza, he makes his way away from the rest of his force and meets up with Frieza. Who actually requested him specifically. He begins speaking to Kakarot, saying that he's very impressed and proud of his accomplishments. He begins speaking to Kakarot, asking if he knows about the existence of the other Saiyans. Kakarot, of course, knows this and says yes. Frieza says to him that they're not very loyal. They do what he says out of fear because they know how powerful he is, but they're not fundamentally loyal to him. They let their Saiyan pride get in the way of his greatness. And soon he fears that they may become a problem. Nothing too large, but a pain in the neck knowing Prince Vegeta. So he says to Frieza says to Kakarot that he needs him to inspire loyalty into them. Kakarot doesn't exactly know what he means. This is when Frieza comes out and says that he's giving Kakarot control of the Saiyans and actually adding them a part of the Kakarot Force, along with the former Ginyu Force members. Kakarot is pretty shocked at this, but he doesn't let that show on his face. And he reluctantly agrees to Lord Frieza's promotion, basically. Kakarot leaves Frieza's chambers and begins walking through the streets of the Frieza homeworld. Everywhere he goes, he gets respect. Not respect because he's a great leader, but respect because he's the right hand of a tyrant and an incredibly strong and brutal warrior. So the respect he receives is out of fear of what would happen if they didn't respect him. He makes his way into a restaurant and has a nice meal. This is when he meets someone, Lord Cooler. He's actually here on diplomatic reasons, in his diplomatic duty. Honestly, Cooler is a lot more cool-headed and reasonable than Lord Frieza, who's very childlike and brutal compared to Cooler's slow-paced, cold-hearted evil that he possesses. So been speaking to Kakarot, realizing who he is, and says to him that let me actually say something here too. Cooler doesn't have he's not necessarily have any, what is it called, animosity toward Goku himself, but he does hate his brother because Frieza's a crybaby and an arrogant brat begins speaking to Kakarot, asking him to come down and have a drink with him. Cooler begins venting and actually praising Kakarot, saying that he's a very fine warrior and that he's actually far too good for his brother. Kakarot actually would get up and say that he's out of line for that comment, but he's in the presence of Lord Cooler, so he doesn't want to, bring too much attention to himself. He's nodding slightly, basically agreeing to everything Cooler says to not get on his bad side. And this is when Cooler says that Frieza is not worthy of your service. Why don't you come work under me? Frieza doesn't have he doesn't have a future within the Cold Empire. He's abrasive, irrational, and makes decisions completely based on his emotions. He's actually a very mediocre leader. This actually angers Goku quite a bit, seeing as Frieza is his lord as well as a father figure, even though he is a terrible one at that. This is when Cooler hands him a card, saying that if he ever decides on switching allegiances within the Empire, he's always free to give him a call. Frieza then leaves. Goku puts the card inside his pocket and sees some commotion on the streets. Some little rebellers. Goku's still inside a sour mood from Cooler literally shitting on his lord. Makes his way over to the rebellion and kills every last one of them, particularly brutally. I don't know why I can't speak. Something wrong with my... whatever. Everyone just looks at him in shock and horror. This actually makes Goku happy. This actually makes Kakarot happy. Because under the example that Frieza set, it's far more effective to be feared than loved. He continues walking down the street with everyone making a path for him, with his armor pretty bloodied up, and taking the towel out of one of the bystanders' hands and begins wiping it down. He doesn't want it to stain. After all, this armor was a gift from Lord Frieza. He makes his way to the Saiyan barracks. We're looking at him, asking what he's doing here. This is what the prince asks. Although they haven't really had a conversation, they've seen each other a few times. Asking what the traitor Saiyan is doing here. Goku basically ignores this comment and says that from now on he'll be their captain. This is when Raditz chimes in and says, "What right does my little brother have of being my captain?" Goku makes his way to Raditz and gives him a nice good jab for the ribs, breaking a couple. Nappa begins lunging at Goku, and let's just say it doesn't end too well for him as well. Prince Vegeta actually rushes toward Goku as well, and he's quickly swatted down. They're all actually injured pretty severely, seeing as Goku is so much stronger than all of them. He goes out, gets some Frieza guards, and tells them to bring them to the healing chamber, and once that is complete, to bring them to his dwellings, so they can discuss the next plan for their mission, and plan accordingly. That's the end of this part. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. See you guys later.